Whispers. It's Whisper and Storyteller here. Hope everybody is well. I thought I'd do something a little different today. This is my favourite room in the whole house. I think the reason for that is that this is the one room where I have all my beloved belongings with me. My guitar's over in the corner. I've got 3 guitars, all acoustics. And this is also the room where I have all my movie collection, which film is a very, very important part of my life. My books, again, which, as you will all know, are very, very important, and my music collection, there on the bottom. I thought maybe today I would just have a little chat about my music collection. I've got about 300 CDs, but I thought I would talk about vinyl, that forgotten format. I was talking to Total Rod the other day, who is a fantastic whisperer, which I'm sure a lot of you will have already heard of. And we discovered that we're both into the same era of music, which is the 1960's. And we're both the same age as well. And we both write songs, and it's fantastic to compare notes with him. But I thought what I'd do is maybe look through the vinyl that I've managed to collect over the last few years. Somebody's beeping their horn outside. I hope it's not too distracting for you. So let's have a look. I was thinking maybe I could do some of my own music on this channel at some point if people were interested to hear it. Huge Beatles fan. Now these are original records that I have put into frames. There you go. And the idea is that, of course, you can stick them on the wall. I'm decorating at the moment, so I haven't managed to get around to putting them up. That's another story altogether. That's the Beatles, Yellow Submarine. I've also, there's a story how I came to get all these records in the mid-90s, which was the height of my obsession. I house sat for my aunt when she went away on holiday, and she forgot to bring me something back as a thank you, which I didn't expect anyway. But instead she went up in the attic and brought down a few Beatles albums and asked me if I wanted them, and which I did. So I've managed to collect mono and stereo. I've got a lot of the Beatles albums. Now I'm not too sure if these are original pressings. I did have a book which did tell you a kind of collector's guide, but I don't know where that book has gone. So it's here somewhere, but I just can't find it. The Beatles Help album again in mono and in stereo. Great album. The Beatles for Sale again in mono and stereo. The Magical Mystery Tour. And the Monkeys. As you can see, I don't have these in any particular order. So I'm not so much of an obsessive compulsive collector as a lot of people would be. That is the Beatles, 1967 to 1970, and it looks like I've actually priced it at some point. So this one was issued in 1978, and it's blue vinyl. Blue vinyl. Let's have a look. That'd be interesting to see what that. Oh wow! Look at that. It's a long time since I had this record out. Wow. I don't actually have a record player at the time, can you believe it? I've kind of lost it somewhere. But they are freely available now, because a lot of people are using them for dance mixes and things. This band is a British group called Slade, who were very popular in the 1970s. And my was a huge fan of this group, and this is one of the few things I have that belong to him. He's no longer with us, by the way. He passed away in 2002, and yeah, I think I'll always treasure this. I actually have his bury as well, because he actually served in the British forces. So I've got this and his bury from when he was in the army. Yeah, very sad, I do miss him. I've also got, as you can see behind there, I've got all the box full of old 45s, which at some point I will go through and see what's in there, but it's jam-packed. Maybe I could do that. Oh, look at the dust on there as well. Wow. Shows the last time that was looked at. So yeah, there's the Letter B album. So yeah, majority of those are all Beatles. I'll have to show you this as well. On the subject of the Beatles, I did a recent Easter egg competition, and that's what I made out of boiled eggs. So yeah, I made the whole Beatles themselves. There's Paul, George, Ringo, and John. Yeah, pretty cool, eh? Oh, there's my Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that I'm currently reading as well, which I should have uploaded a few more chapters of that. Yeah, oh, here is the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, another 60s hero of mine. A lot of people ask me, what is it about the 60s I particularly love? And for me, it was such a fertile, colourful period in time. And when it comes to music, it was absolutely the pinnacle of, music creation. Fantastic. If I'd been around then, I would have been in my element. I absolutely love it. There's something very iconic about 60s styles as well. My beloved Mamas and Papas, I absolutely adore this group. You'll notice I've got quite a few albums by those. Yeah, I've got a personal story to tell about the Mamas and Papas as well, but maybe I could do that in another Whisper video. Yeah, obviously Cass Elliot, Denny Doherty and Michelle Phillips, and of course John Phillips, who has been in a bit of a scandal recently, but not to say he was an excellent songwriter. Yeah, this is the third album, The Papas and the Mamas, which is a very unusual album, very dark album. Wow. Yeah. John Phillips' solo album. Oh yeah, this was the group that Mama Cass Elliot was in with Denny before they became the Mamas and Papas, and that guy there is Zolyanovsky, who also formed the Lovin' Spoonful. I've got lots of their albums here too. Another Mamas and Papas album. And Scott McKenzie, yeah, you remember him from that one-hit wonder, San Francisco. I actually met that guy once when he toured England with the new lineup of Mamas and Papas, and he was a very nice guy. Yeah, Mama Cass solo album, and the Kinks. Yeah, the Kinks were another great band with songs like A Dedicated Follower of Fashion and Sunny Afternoon. I'm not sure how big they were in the US. They were huge here in the UK. Yeah, it's cool. I think there's something wonderful about actually holding an album in your hand. It's something particularly, you can take it in, rather than a tiny little CD or a download, which is very impersonal. That's my opinion anyway. I absolutely love vinyl, but it seems quite unusual that I haven't got a player. Yeah, that's the Turtles, another 60s West Coast harmony band. Oh, Canned Heat. Yeah, they were great. They were very bluesy, and they had songs Going Up the Country, which featured in the Woodstock festival. Yeah, Joan Baez, a beautiful singer, who was also romantically linked with Bob Dylan at some stage, and Sgt. Pepper's. Sgt. Pepper's, I personally think, was a little overrated. I much prefer Rubber Soul. The Beatles, with the Beatles, mono and stereo. I don't actually know how I came about getting all of those, to be honest. I think I've just collected things from people over the years. Yeah, the Rolling Stones. I'm not sure if that's their first album, but it's just called the Rolling Stones. Yeah, this one has got on Route 66. Trying to think if there's any other big ones that's in there. Yeah, the Beatles, Please Please Me. I think that was their first album, wasn't it? And Revolver. Yeah. John Sebastian from the Lovin' Spoonful was a very talented guy, and I think the Lovin' Spoonful were very much the US version of the Beatles. You know, they experimented with bluegrass and folk and country, a bit like what the Beatles did as well. They had a very unique sound, and they're very, very underrated, in my opinion. Yeah, they did a soundtrack for a Woody Allen film, and that's the album there. The film's title was What's Up, Tiger Lily? And yeah, there's one of the albums they did as well. That's quite funny. You can see how they've superimposed, or they've airbrushed the lady's anatomy there. So yeah, the Lovin' Spoonful, Do You Believe in Magic? That's their first album, I think. Yeah, but Total Rod, I can see. Oh, Jimi Hendrix. Total Rod has uploaded some songs of him playing guitar. I was thinking maybe I could do something similar at some point. I'm not sure if my songs are any good, but I'd certainly, like to give that a try. Yeah, I think, oops, that's Abbey Road, that's another one that I've got framed, and maybe I could stick on the wall when I get decorated, but the problem is the walls here in this house. This house was built in the 1800s, and the walls are absolute solid concrete. So, although I tried to drill a hole through it, the drill bit I had wasn't adequate to get through the concrete. So, I didn't manage to get them up there. So yeah, I think I'm almost about out of time as well. So maybe I could continue on looking through these very shortly in another whisper. So until then, I bid thee well.